Hello students, how are you? Today we are going to study geography 4th lesson agriculture. Up to 3rd lesson we completed that first semester, 4, 5, 6, second semester. Okay. Then agriculture, take our test, page number 40. Gurpreet, Madhu and Tina were walking through the village where they saw a farmer tilling land. The farmer told them that he was growing wheat and had just added manure to the soil to make it more fertile. He told the children that the wheat would fetch a good price in the mandi, from where it would be taken to factories to make bread and biscuits from flour. So, Gurpreet, Madhu, and Tina were walking, and one farmer tilling the land, and he tilled wheat, grow some wheat, and after taking this wheat, he gave it to the mandi or market, and also this wheat turned to bread or biscuit. This transformation from a plant to a finished product involved three types of economic activities. These are primary, secondary, and tertiary activities. So, three important factors of productions are primary activity, secondary activity, and tertiary activities. In any firm, three important activities involved. They are primary, secondary, and tertiary activities. Primary activities include all those connected with the extraction and production of natural resources. So, primary activities also called agricultural activities because it is taken from agriculture, and also this activity is known as agriculture related to activities. Okay. Then agriculture, fishing, and gathering are good examples. Examples of primary activities: agriculture, fishing, poultry, cotton, etc. We can say the examples of primary activities. Three important factors of production. Primary activity, it is related to agriculture activities, that is taken from nature, and that is why this is called primary activities. Example: agriculture, fishing, gathering. Then secondary activities are concerned with the processing of these resources. Manufacturing. Okay, second activity, that means it is a primary activities. It went to the factories are called secondary activities. Manufacturing of steel, baking of bread, and weaving of cloth are examples of these activities. So this wheat turned to bread. This is called manufacturing or secondary activity. Tertiary activities provide support to the primary and secondary sectors through services. Transport, trade, banking, insurance, and advertising are examples of tertiary activities. Third activities, tertiary activities, these finished goods. Then cotton is a primary activities. It went to the factory, secondary activities. Then finished goods are called shirt or sari, etc. are called tertiary activities. Okay. So these tertiary activities support the primary and secondary activities. What are the three factors of production? First one, primary. Second one, tertiary. Primary. Second one, secondary activity. Third one, tertiary activities. Okay. Agriculture is a primary activity. We already studied agriculture is a primary activity. It includes growing crops, fruits, vegetables, flowers, and rearing of livestock. So this agriculture is a primary activities. That means then fruits, vegetables, growing vegetables, then fruits, growing fruits, then flowers, livestock, etc. All these are examples of agricultural activity or primary activity. In the world, 50% of persons are engaged in agricultural activity. 2/3 of India's population is still depend on agriculture. In India, 2/3 of population depend on agriculture because agriculture is the most important activity in India. Most of the people are engaged in agricultural activities. That is why in India, agriculture sector is very important. Favorable topography of soil and climate are vital for agricultural activity. So, depend on rain. Agricultural activity depends on rain. That is why it is very important for production, and also fertility of the soil, climate, rainfall. These are the important factors for the agriculture activity. The land on which the crop are grown is known as arable land. Okay, suitable land is called arable land. In the map, you can see that agriculture activity is concentrated in those regions of the world where suitable factors are for growing of crop exist. So in this map, we can see that important factors. That means, which are the important factors? Favorable topography of soil and climate, and also we can add one more, rainfall. These are the important factors for the growing of agriculture. Then do you know agriculture? The science and art of cultivation on the soil, raising crop and rearing livestock. It is also called farming. What is agriculture? Then next one, sericulture. Commercial rearing of silkworms are called sericulture. Then pisciculture, breeding of fish in specially constructed tanks and ponds are called pisciculture. Viticulture, cultivation of grapes are called viticulture. Horticulture, growing vegetables, flowers and fruits for commercial use. So these are very important: agriculture, sericulture, pisciculture, viticulture and horticulture. Okay. Then farm system in India. Agriculture or farming can be looked at a system. The important inputs and outputs of a farming system in India are seeds. Inputs are seeds, then fertilizers, machinery and labor. These are the inputs. Then some of the operations involved are plowing, sowing, irrigation, weeding and harvesting. The outputs are from the system include crops, wool, dairy and poultry products. So inputs and outputs of a farming or agriculture are: inputs are, which are the inputs? Seed, then labors, land, water, etc. Outputs are the crops or wood or dairy or poultry, etc. Okay. So these are the important inputs and outputs of farming in India. Then types of farming. Farming is practiced in various ways across the world depending upon the geographical conditions, demand of produce, labor and level of technology. Farming can be classified into two main types. Two important types of farming are there in country. These are subsistence farming and commercial farming. Okay. Subsistence, what is the difference between subsistence farming and commercial farming? Then first one, subsistence farming. This type of farming is practiced to meet the needs of the farmer's family. Small patches of land are taken for growing some vegetables and vegetables and fruits for farmers' need. Traditionally, low level of technology and household labors are used to produce on small outputs. Only family members can take this type of subsistence farming, because it is only need for the farmer's need or farmer's family. Subsistence farming can be further classified into intensive subsistence and primitive subsistence. This subsistence farming are also divided into intensive subsistence farming and primitive subsistence farming. The intensive subsistence farming agriculture, the farmer cultivates a small plot of land using simple tools and more labor. Then intensive subsistence farming, farmers take a plot of land and using simple tools and also more labors are needed. In subsistence farming, only family members are the labors, but in intensive subsistence farming, more labors are needed. Climate with large numbers of days with sunshine and fertile soils permit growing of more than one crop annually on the same plot. On the same plot of land, more than one crop are grown in this type of farming, intensive subsistence farming. More than one type of or more than one crop are grown in one year. Okay, rice is the main crop. Other crops include wheat, maize, pulses and oilseeds. So in intensive subsistence farming, more than one crops are grown in a year. Rice is the main crop. Other crops are wheat, maize, pulses, oilseeds, etc. Then, intensive subsistence agriculture is prevalent in the thickly populated areas of the monsoon regions of South, Southeast, and East Asia. Thickly populated regions, this type of intensive subsistence farming are done very well because more than one crops are grown in a limited plot of land. Okay, wheat, rice, wheat, other crops are grown. Then primitive subsistence includes shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. In primitive agriculture, they are divided into shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. First one, shifting cultivation is practiced in the thickly forested areas of Amazon basin, tropical Africa, parts of Southeast Asia and Northeast India. Shifting cultivation, you already studied in small classes. What is shifting cultivation? Farmers take a plot of land, then they cut all the trees and they burn it. The ashes are good for the fertility of the soil. Then they grow different types of crops. After the fertility loss, they move on another places. This type of farming is called shifting cultivation. It is practiced in Amazon basin, tropical Africa, parts of Southeast Asia and Northeast India. These are the areas of heavy rainfall and quick regeneration of vegetation. Heavy rainfall areas and also fertility of the soil are very well. They grow this type of shifting cultivation. A plot of land is cleared by felling the trees and burning them. The ashes are then mixed with the soil and crops like maize, yam, potatoes and cassava are grown. Different types of crops are grown in this shifting cultivation because a plot of land is taken for growing this shifting cultivation and they fell into the trees and burn it. The ashes are very fertile for the soil. Then they grow maize, yam. Yam means chena kachil, that potatoes we know, and cassava, tapioca are grown in shifting cultivation. After the soil loses its fertility, the land is abandoned and the cultivator moves to a new plot. Shifting cultivation is also known as slash and burn agriculture. So other name of shifting cultivation is slash and burn agriculture. What do you know by the slash and burn agriculture? Farmers take a plot of land, then they cut all the trees and small plants. Then they burn it. The ashes are mixed with the soil. Then they grow different types of crops. After 4 or 5 years, the fertility losses. The farmers move another plot of land. This is called slash and burn or agriculture or shifting cultivation. Okay. The next one, nomadic herding, is practiced in the semi-arid and arid regions of Sahara, Central Asia and some parts of India like Rajasthan, Jammu and Kashmir. Nomadic herding means herders move from place to place. In desert areas, this type of nomadic herding we can see. In this type of farming, herdsmen move from place to place with their animals for fodder and water along different routes. So, in nomadic herding, farmers move with their animals where the water and plants are there. Then they stay there and after this fodder and water losses, then they move another place. This type of movement arises in a response to climatic constraints and terrain. So, in climatic condition move or climate changes, these herdmen or farmers move from place to place because harsh climatic condition, the sheep and other animals and also these herders did not leave. That is why they move climatic condition. Sheep, camel, yak and goats are most commonly reared. These provide milk, meat, wool, hides and other products to the herders and their families. Okay. So this intensive subsistence farming can be also divided into primitive subsistence primitive subsistence farming divided into two, shifting cultivation and also nomadic herding. Okay, so next one, commercial farming. First type of farming we already completed, subsistence farming, into divided into two, intensive subsistence farming and primitive subsistence farming. This primitive subsistence farming is also divided into two, shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. The next one, commercial farming. In commercial farming, crops are grown and animals are reared for sale in market. Commercial means വാണിജ്യ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിൽ വിൽക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി. The area cultivated and the amount of capital used in large. Cultivated area, land and capital is very large in commercial farming. Most of the work is done by machines because manpower is very low. Very large areas are taken for this commercial farming. Commercial farming includes commercial grain farming, mixed farming and plantation agriculture. Three types of commercial farming are there. Commercial grain farming, mixed farming and plantation agriculture. First one, commercial grain farming. Crops are grown for commercial purposes. Wheat and maize are common commercially grown grains. Two important commercially grown grains are wheat and maize. Major areas where commercial grain farming is practiced are temperate grasslands of North America, Europe and Asia. These are the important commercial grain land because large areas of land are taken for hectares, thousands of hectares are land for taken this type of commercial farming. That is why manpower is very low. All the things are done only by machines. These areas are sparsely populated. Sparsely means ചിതറിക്കിടക്കുന്ന കുറച്ച് ആൾക്കാർ മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ. Populated with large farms spreading over hundreds of hectares. Severe winters restrict the growing season and only a single crop can be grown. Only one crops are grown in this commercial grain farming because severe winter season. Okay. In mixed farming, the land is used for growing food and fodder crops and rearing livestock. Food and fodder means food for cattle, that is fodder, crops for livestock. It is practiced in Europe, Eastern Asia, Argentina, Southeast Australia, New Zealand and South Africa. Then plantations are type of commercial farming where single crops of tea, coffee, sugarcane, cashew, rubber, banana or cotton are grown. Only plantation agriculture, only one crops are grown. Tea, coffee, sugarcane, cashew, rubber, bananas or cotton. Large amount of labors and capital are required this type of plantation agriculture. The produce may be processed on the farm itself or in the nearby factories. This tea near the tea plantation processing units are there. Coffee, sugarcane, etc. All these are plantation agriculture, and near the plantation factories are also located. The development of a transport network is thus essential for such farming. Transporting facilities very needed for this type of plantation agriculture because processing units and factories are very necessary for this. That is why transporting facilities are also very needed. Major plantations are found in the tropical regions of the world. Rubber in Malaysia, coffee in Brazil, tea in India and Sri Lanka are some examples. Okay. Then major crops. A large variety of crops are grown to meet the requirement of the growing population. In India, we second largest populated country. That is why different types of crops are grown in different climatic conditions, and also a large variety of crops are also required for the growing population. Crops also supply raw materials for agro-based industries. Major food crops are wheat, rice, maize and millets. Jute and cotton are fiber crops. Important beverage crops are tea and coffee. Important crops in India are rice, wheat, maize and millets. These are the important crops. Jute and cotton are fiber crops. These are also very important. Then important beverage items, that drinkable items are tea and coffee. These are imported beverage. Beverage means drinkable items are tea and coffee. Okay. And then we are going to study one by one. First one, rice. Rice is the staple, major food crops of the world. We know it is the staple diet of the tropical and subtropical regions. In India also, rice is the staple food of majority of the Indians. Rice needs high temperature, high humidity and rainfall. Then high temperature, high humidity and also high rainfall. It grows best in alluvial clay soil which can retain water. China leads in production of rice, followed by India, Japan, Sri Lanka and Egypt. In favorable climatic conditions, as in West Bengal and Bangladesh, 2 to 3 crops a year are grown. Climatic conditions are suitable, that is why in a year 3 different types of rice are grown in a year. Okay. Then wheat requires moderate temperature and rainfall during growing season and bright sunshine at the time of harvest. Harvest time, bright sunshine, moderate temperature and rainfall during growing season. Okay. It thrives best in the well-drained loamy soil. Wheat is grown extremely in USA, Canada, Argentina, Russia, Ukraine, Australia and India. In India, it is grown in winter crops. Write a winter crops, one more question. Which is the winter crops? Wheat is a winter crops. Winter season grow, then rainy season, summer season harvest. Millets, they are also known as coarse grains and can be grown on less fertile and sandy soil. In millets, different types of millets, jowar, bajra, etc. All these are millets. They are grown on less fertile and sandy soils. It is a hardy crops that needs low rainfall and high to moderate temperature and adequate rainfall. Jowar, bajra and ragi are grown in India. Other crops are Nigeria, then China and Niger. Okay, these are which are the important millets crops, jowar, bajra and ragi. Okay, in India, these are important millets in India. Okay. The next one, maize. Maize requires moderate temperature, rainfall and lots of sunshine. It needs well-drained fertile soils. Maize is grown in North America, Brazil, China, Russia, Canada, India and Mexico. Maize cultivation. Then cotton. Cotton requires high temperature, light sunshine, light rainfall, 210 frost-free days and bright sunshine for its growth. Write some points about cotton cultivation. Okay, this type of questions we can in exams, this type of questions are asked. Then requires high temperatures, light rainfall, 210 frost-free days and bright sunshine for its growth. It grows best on black and alluvial soils. China, USA, India, Pakistan, Brazil and Egypt are the leading producers of cotton. It is one of the main raw materials for the cotton textile industry. Cotton textile industries, this raw cotton are used. Okay. Then jute. Jute was also known as the golden fiber. The other name of jute, golden fiber. It grows well on alluvial soil and requires high temperature, heavy rainfall and humid climate. This crop is grown in the tropical areas. India and Bangladesh are the leading producers of jute. To import in India, West Bengal is the jute producing state in India. Then jute, other name of jute, golden fiber. Then coffee. Coffee requires warm and wet climate and well-drained loamy soil. Hill slopes are more suitable for growth of this crop. Brazil is the leading producer, followed by Colombia and India. Coffee also grown in India. Okay. Then tea. Tea is a beverage crop grown on plantations. Beverage means any drinkable items are called beverage. It is a plantation agriculture. This requires cool climate and well-distributed high rainfall throughout the year for the growth of its tender leaves. Tender leaves means talirilla. For it is taken and also it is used for tea. It needs well-drained loamy soils and gentle slopes. Labor in large number is required to pick the leaves. Kenya, India, China, Sri Lanka produce the best quality tea in the world. These are the important crops item in India. Okay, which are they? Then rice, wheat, then millets, maize, then cotton and jute, fiber crops, then beverage crops are coffee and tea. Then agricultural development. Agricultural development refers to efforts made to increase farm production in order to meet the growing demand of increasing population. Agricultural development is very necessary for the growth of growing population, because in India, more than 75% of the people are engaged in agriculture. The development of agriculture means development of or economic development is well in India. This can be achieved in many ways, such as increasing the cropped area, the number of cropping ground, improving irrigation facilities, use of fertilizers, and a high yielding variety of seeds. How can we improve agricultural development? Different ways we can improve. We can use chemical fertilizers, pesticides, then HYV seeds, that means high yielding variety of seeds, then improving irrigation facilities, then different crops are grown in different parts of the country, and also cropped areas are also increased. This way we can increase the production or agricultural development. Mechanization of agriculture is also another aspect of agricultural development, and the ultimate aim of agricultural development is to increase food security. To increase food security, different types of crops. The Indian rulers also think about this to achieve food security. How can we achieve food security? To increase this number of crops grown in a year. Different types of crops are grown. Then HYV seeds, using chemical fertilizers, pesticides. This way we can increase the production. Agriculture has developed at different places in different parts of the world. Developing countries with large populations usually practice intensive agriculture, where crops are grown on small holdings, mostly for subsistence. In developed countries, subsistence agriculture are grown because family needs. Large holdings are more suitable for commercial agriculture, as in USA, Canada, and Australia. Then, with the help of two case studies of farms, one from India and the other from USA, let us understand about agriculture in the developing and developed countries. Two important examples are given below. One in USA, farm in USA, then in farm in India. Developed countries and also developing countries. Developing countries in India, developed countries in USA. You read this. നിങ്ങളിത് ശ്രദ്ധിച്ച് വായിച്ച് മനസ്സിലാക്കി. ഇതിൽ നിന്ന് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ചോദിക്കത്തില്ല, അത് കാരണം ശ്രദ്ധിച്ച് വായിച്ച് നിങ്ങൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കുക. ഉള്ള ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആൻസർ ദ ഫോളോയിങ് 5 ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഉണ്ട്. ടിക്ക് ദ കറക്റ്റ് ആൻസർ. അത് നിങ്ങൾ ടെസ്റ്റിൽ ചെയ്താൽ മതി. ബാക്കി ഗീവ് എ റീസൺ, ഡിസ്റ്റിങ്വിഷ് ബിറ്റ്വീൻ ദ ഫോളോയിങ്. ഇത് 3 ടീച്ചർ അടുത്ത ക്ലാസ്സിൽ തരാം. എന്തെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ചോദിക്കുക, വിളിച്ചാൽ മതി, പറഞ്ഞു തരാം. ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു.